Sergeant Slammer. When did you realize that they'd done that? Was it in pretty recent times?
I didn't know it until I came over to the UK and saw it on television. And
right.
I was doing like a double take. I said, "What? Wait a minute! I didn't even know there was a Sergeant Slammer."
Yeah.
And the voice, was dubbed in, and I went, "That wasn't me."
Yeah.
And I started putting two and two together. That I started asking questions, and they said, "No, Slaughter was too mean of a name for children in the UK."
Yeah,
bunch of wusses. I know. Listen up, Megan. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse.
Usually, if she wants to watch a horror movie marathon or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're not into the horror movies, Space Commander?
Well, I like I always think of a horror movie as being a film that tells a spooky story. So, like the old Hammer horror films, the ones with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, I love those old sort of Hammer horror films. But these modern ones where somebody's strapped into a chair and being force-fed a live chainsaw, that's not really my cup of tea.
No. Classic horror. Up until the last horror that I really enjoyed, were that I can still go back to today are the Nightmare on Elm Street series, right? So anything after that is a little bit hit or miss, but a lot of the horror movies that came before that are generally pretty good. And then afterwards, either the horror movies got too mild after that, or they weren't horror anymore. It was just extreme violence. And there's a big difference between watching someone get eviscerated and something that is pure horror. There's very different concepts. Like the Saw movies, they're not horror. That's just gore.
Yeah. As I was born
if she wants to watch one of those, she has to feed me a beef burger first and send me off to bed early.
I've always been a fan of being born on Halloween. I'm always the Halloween fan, so I do like the new ones that they've done.
That's what I mean. I've enjoyed most of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I didn't mind the remake they did, but I really enjoyed the Freddy versus Jason one. And I mean that's going back a couple of years now. But those I can enjoy all the way through because the character is still the same. The character of Freddy Krueger is still the same. With the Halloween and the Nightmare. No, what's on there? Friday the 13th. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, those are good classic horror movies. I mean, they're not really classics. What would you call those ones? Pop culture classics?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But then the old Dracula ones like Nosferatu, that's some good stuff. One of the movies that scared me as a kid was The Fly. And the black and white version of The Fly. I used to love that movie. Anything that was Alfred Hitchcock as well. There used to be a TV show called Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Loved that show. And it might be mild by today's standards, but it scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Well, you mentioning Alfred Hitchcock, he did the film The Birds.
Yes, I love that movie.
But it terrified my mom.
Yeah.
It freaked her out so much. She said to me, I would never go outside in case I got attacked.
Yeah.
Right. Well, first of all, I have a real fear of birds. Like it's unreasonable, my fear of birds, right? And so that movie was scary for all sorts of levels because of that. Yeah. But what my kids used to do when we were younger, we'd go down the beach and my kids would throw chips behind me so that the seagulls would come up real close, just really getting that fear. It's like, what are you guys doing? But, I can't believe it. I think they'd still do it today if they had a chance.
That's just evil, that is. That's pure evil.
Right, that's pure horror there. That's real horror.
My first horror movie that scared me was Frankenstein.
Right.
I was a young boy, and my mother worked at a 5 and dime store, and across the street was a movie theater. And she'd say, "Here, take this $1, go get something to eat, and then go to the movie," because they'd have like double features. And I'd sit there all day while she was working, and then when the movie was over, I'd go back over to the store. So I'm sitting there eating my popcorn, and I'm watching this Frankenstein movie. And every time he came on the screen, I'd put my hands over my eyes. I wouldn't even watch it. And I got over to my mother, and she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And that was quite a movie, though, and I never really let on to her about it. So we had just moved out into the country, and we lived next to a wooded area. And my friend said, "Hey, let's go out and build the fort." So we're out there building the fort. And of course, I take a bunch of my dad's tools out there with us, and it gets kind of dark and time for dinner. So we go back to the house, and my dad comes home from work. "Hey, where's some of my tools?" I said, "Oh, I forgot them out in the woods." He said, "Well, go get them." I said,
"Oh no."
Okay. And I went back. I ran. I was just like stepping real easy and looking all around for Frankenstein to come. I was probably about maybe 7 years old.
Yeah.
Finally, I got to the tools, and I grabbed them, and I ran as fast as I could out of there. But it used to give me nightmares. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But it's funny, today I see some of the actors that you were just speaking about, Freddy Krueger's and the other ones that you're speaking of, and they're out of we're at autograph signings, and they're out of character. They're not dressed up like that.
Yeah.
And they'll come over and say, "Oh, hey, I'm so and so. I'm a big fan of yours." Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't watch your movie, but and I don't recognize them because they're not, they're out.
They're not in the
yeah.
But it's such a transformation.
Yeah.
To see these guys, like Chewbacca, the fellow that played Chewbacca, I saw him many times.
Peter
Never would imagine
Peter
that
Mayhew,
was him, and
he was a lovely fella. I managed to meet him over here. He was fantastic. Yeah.
And you don't realize who your fans are till they come up and start talking to you. Some of the the Living Walking Dead or whatever that movie is, or TV,
the series,
the main star comes over to my booth and introduces himself and wants to get a picture with me and get an autograph for his kids. And I'm like,
"Oh, that's cool.
Wait a minute, you're a major star here,
Yeah,
amazing.
There's one film that I wouldn't recommend watching. I was only about 13 at the time, and that was the original Texas Chainsaw, and that was a bit much.
Yeah. Every time I'd hear a chainsaw, I'd start running.
Well, for me, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, so I used to sneak them. But for a long time before I could sneak a VHS, I used to just look at the video covers. And they used to be scary enough when you were a little kid, right?
Yeah.
So I remember The Howling. I remember American Werewolf in London, The Ghoulies. I remember seeing all of these covers and knowing nothing about them, but still giving myself nightmares just looking at the cover.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I was a little bit older and I started watching these movies where it actually became less scary because I'd created such a thing in my mind that watching those movies were now, it was more of a fun activity. Still get a little scared, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because you want that from a good horror movie. You want to be scared, but you want to be entertained. You don't want to be, forever traumatized.
Scarred for life.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just talking to my wife. Go ahead, Mark.
No, carry on, Sarge.
I was just talking to my wife yesterday about who is the director of Reservoir Dogs?
Quentin Tarantino.
I said, where does he come up with these ideas? I mean, how you have to be kind of a little psycho yourself to come up with these ideas. We're talking about how the song came on about Stuck in the Middle with You.
Yeah.
I said that song was ruined because I never saw the movie till about 2 weeks ago. And I said, "Oh yeah, the song, and then all of a sudden he's dancing around and he cuts the guy's ear off."
Yeah.
now when I hear that song, that's all I think about. You know, it's
Yeah,
completely different. Stuck in the Middle with You made it.
Yeah.
It's not the same song anymore. But
Quentin
you wonder
Tarantino.
how do they come up with these ideas and how they make them come alive. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
He did a
G.I. Joe movie.
He did an interview with Dan Rather a while back, and it was interesting because he actually thought it's kind of funny, you know, what he does.
Yeah.
You know, he got to kind of get a kick out of scaring people. You know,
He stands by his craft, which is great.
Yeah.
He doesn't apologize for it. People often will try and steamroll him in interviews and stuff, trying to, you know, get him to make a correlation between movies and violence. And he never falls for those sort of interview tricks. He stands by his craft, and I think his movies are. I don't think he's made a bad one. I've got a few favorites over other ones, but I thought Reservoir Dogs was a great movie. I thought Hateful Eight, fantastic movie. What have I? Oh, the one I just watched recently was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is that the correct one?
Good, yeah.
Right. Was that the one with Brad Pitt and?
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
That was
a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's good as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've only just started to appreciate Kill Bill, and I need to go back and watch. What was that one? One of his first ones.
Did he do Pulp Fiction?
Yeah,
yes.
He did,
yeah. That's another crazy one.
So I came in halfway through Pulp Fiction and had no idea what was going on. I had to watch it in full before I realized what was happening. Yeah. It was like, okay, you can't walk into that movie halfway and hope you're going to find out what's going on.
No.
Yeah. Travolta, when he shot the guy in the back seat.
Right.
Whoops. Hey, you just shot. I didn't mean to. I was.
Yeah. And then it just turns into this whole different thing. Oh man.
One of my favorites, one of the scariest movies I ever saw was, especially at the end of the movie, was G.I. Joe the movie, when I had to take on Nemesis Enforcer.
Yeah,
talk about being scared. I mean, Deli, wow. That guy was he was a tough son of a gun.
Yeah,
I've got to say,
they're going to have that. They're going to sometime in June. I think it's the end of June. They're going to play that again. In theaters.
Yeah.
Are you gonna show up?
Available in the UK though, sadly.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
Are you gonna show up?
I don't know. I've got a couple of people wanting me to come over. Tyson Fury is having a show. Yeah. He wants me to come over, but I'm already booked, unfortunately.
Right. You're a busy man, Sarge.
I think it's September 3rd, and he wants to do something either before or after the pay-per-view of SummerSlam, or I'm not sure. It's a WWE event.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if it's I think it's a pay-per-view, but it's or maybe it's just an event. But so he wants to take advantage of them being over there and bring a bunch of legends to do an autograph session.
That'd be cool.
And I am trying my hardest to try to get out of my obligations on that weekend.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what happens. I'll let you know.
Definitely let me know. That would be. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So if they bring it out in the UK, will it be Action Force the movie?
Geez, I don't know.
With the voiceovers, yeah.
So you get overdubbed in some scene, Sarge, as Sergeant Slammer. When did you realize that they'd done that? Was it in pretty recent times?
I didn't know it until I came over to the UK and saw it on television. And I was doing like a double take. I said, "What? Wait a minute! I didn't even know there was a Sergeant Slammer."
Yeah.
And the voice, was dubbed in, and I went, "That wasn't me."
Yeah.
And I started putting two and two together. That
Yeah.
I started asking questions, and they said, "No, Slaughter was too mean of a name for children in the UK."
Yeah.
Bunch of wusses. I know. So they called me Sergeant Slammer, and we didn't say Yo Joe. It was Full Force. You know?
Full
Oh,
force.
hang on.
Yeah.
I should,
It took me a while to
I should do that then.
realize that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and then
they
when I
did the
went
same
to
thing with the
Japan,
turtles.
when I went to
Yeah.
Japan, they dubbed the whole show in Japanese. And
Now that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna dub it, fully dub it,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't just fully dub Action Force and just have consistent voices all the way through.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you or Mark could have did the voice of Sergeant Slaughter, you know?
Right. Well, yeah. Mark, do you
Sergeant
do a good
Slammer. Sergeant Slammer, excuse me.
Mark? Do you do a good Sergeant Slammer impression?
We'll have to have an audition.
Yeah. Let's hear it, Mark. What have you got? Let's hear your audition.
Oh my God, I can't. Oh God, no, no, that's too much pressure.
You already sound better than the official Action Force Sergeant Slammer, mate. It's fine. Your natural speaking voice. So, Space Commander, you were mentioning what they did to the Ninja Turtles in the UK.
Oh, terrible that was.
Yeah, and this is sometimes something that people from America will point out. And I have to say, it wasn't us little kids who made this decision. Okay, don't blame us.
No,
but yeah, they were called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. They thought the word ninja was too evocative of violence. But where I grew up, we were right next to there's like 2 or 3 USAF bases real close together. So we knew from playing with the American kids that they were actually Ninja Turtles. But yeah, if you watch the cartoon, the logo comes up, and it even sort of fudged over the word ninja with the word hero, and they changed the theme tune. But yeah,
Mike,
that wasn't down to us. That was down to whoever was running the show.
Yeah. I don't know why they did it so much with cartoons over here. I haven't a clue.
I don't know, but you guys had some pretty cool cartoons that we got in Australia. So Banana Man was a favorite of mine. Danger Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Ramjet. We had TV shows like The Goodies, Monty Python, Bottom, Young Ones. Full on British. My favorite comedian is Ricky Gervais. He's so good. Monty Python.
Actually, sorry, I do apologize.
No, you go.
I've been watching since Dad passed away. I've been watching Afterlife and Derek and The Office and everything, and it's made me laugh so much. And I've tweeted him about it, and then he's liked a couple of the tweets, which is very nice.
Oh, very good.
So, yeah.
Oh.
So it's just
he's a genius.
I like that. Yeah, he's fantastic, and I love watching the bloopers from it as well.
They're just as good. They're arguably just as, if not funnier. Some of the he can't stop that laugh that he has. Every so often, I'll belt out one of those laughs myself. I can't help it. But he just a laugh blooper that he does is hilarious.
Yeah.
Extras was a great series. I loved that. Particularly the episode that had the Daniel Radcliffe on it. The guy from Harry Potter, if I got his name correctly. The Office. I love the British version of The Office, the true version of The Office, even though the American version is still pretty funny too. But a lot of they're so different between the two of them. And after the first season of the American one, it gets different. They try to copy it too much in the first season, but yeah. What about you, Sarge? Are you into anything? Any British humor? Any comedies?
Well, oddly enough, when I used to be with Lord Alfred Hayes, as he was my manager, and later on we just remained friends till his passing. And when I would go to pick him up, or sometimes on our days off, I'd go maybe pick him up to have dinner. And when I'd walk into his house, he'd be watching a British TV series that I'm kind of getting the idea that it was called The Office. It was a bunch of it was an elderly gentleman and a heavier lady, and it was just so British humor, and he would laugh till he couldn't he'd lose his breath, and he laughed really loud. I mean, just burst out laughing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I at first I wasn't quite catching on to the British humor until I started watching it every week with him, and I laughed as hard as he did. And it was just amazing the writing of what they were doing. I thought it was quite. I think it was called The Office. It seemed like that's the scene, but it seemed like they were in an office
Right.
setting. But I'd have to look it up and see if that's the one I'm thinking that it is. But it was very, very humorous. Of course, I grew up on like the Munsters and the Beverly Hillbillies,
yeah.
Things like that. Great writers and especially the Beverly Hillbillies and I think it was called the Munsters.
Yeah, the Munsters. Yeah.
Just the humor of some of the things on there, it just made you laugh. And
there's a big difference between American humor and British humor, though.
There is
in the sitcom world as well, because we used to watch the Addams Family, the Munsters. What else was our sitcom television? I Love Lucy. All of those sort of shows. And then, which one?
Bewitched,
yes, and I Dream of Jeannie. All of those sort of the afternoon sort of shows from the American side, and then you'd watch over the British stuff would come on the TV a little bit later, and it's just vastly different. And as an Aussie, I got to partake in both. Thankfully, we had our own Aussie comedy shows too, but yeah, we were spoiled for choice as far as comedy was concerned over here.
Yeah. Well, being born in the 70s and growing up in the 80s, we had the comedy, but I was more with the American TV shows like the A-Team and Knight Rider.
Oh yeah, the action stuff. Yeah.
They were like, whoa, fantastic.
Well, I had to watch what my parents were watching. So I used to have to wear an eye patch when I was a kid, and I hated it. But the way that they were able to get me to do it without fuss was I came in one day to the optometrist, and I was wearing an A-Team T-shirt and it had Mr. T on it, like just plastered Mr. T in the front. And they go, all right, we're going to give Mr. T an eye patch today. So they put an eye patch over Mr. T on my shirt, and they said, if you'd like one, we can also give you an eye patch. And I was like, well, yeah, so if Mr. T is going to have one, I must also. And I was able to, they fooled me that way. I was convinced if it's all right for Mr. T, it's all right for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a lazy eye?
Yes. Yeah. And then the rest of me caught up.
I have that too.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lazy eye. And when I went to the eye doctor, they put the patch right over my good eye.
Yes.
Glasses.
Yeah.
So I go to school in the morning, and when I get on the school bus, everybody started calling me Cyclops.
Yeah, I got that too.
My
pirate.
bad eye was about 3 times the size because of the magnification, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I wear them out to the bus, and as soon as the bus came, I'd put them in my bag and go to school.
Well, yeah. I didn't wear glasses, but I did have with the eye patch. I used to just peel the edge.
Yeah.
Because it was a sticky patch. I used to just peel the edge so that I could look at with my good eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, it never really came good. It used to be turned in as well. I had to get an operation because my eye was turned in. And I had to correct it. So it's not too bad now. If I get super drunk, I think it starts to get a little bit whoa,
Yeah. Mine actually straightens out when I get too much.
Does it? Well, between the two of us, we'll be all right.
I'm a vodka tonic. Have you ever had vodka tonic?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Like I said, gin.
I put a lemon in mine. Vodka tonic with a lemon. And every time I order it, nine out of 10 times, my glass comes to me with a lime in it.
Yep. If I go to a bar and I order a gin and tonic and it doesn't have a lime in it, I'm very disappointed.
Yeah,
it's not the same. Just throw a piece of lime. Don't ask me if I want a piece of lime. Just put a piece of lime in there.
Yeah.
It adds to it. So you don't like the gin, Sarge?
I'm not a big gin drinker. I think I got when I was young and foolish and out of my mind, I may have had too much gin one time.
Right. That's enough to do it.
Yeah.
Vodka's pretty safe. You can have a big night on vodka.
Yeah.
What about you, Space Commander? What do you guys drink up in space? What's your drink of choice?
Well, well, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, because we get to drink earlier in life in the UK where I grew up, and when I was a teenager, like Sarge, I was a little bit out of control on the old rocket fuel, you know.
Yeah.
So I think in my teenage years, I think I used up most of my lifetime's quotient of alcohol consumption. So nowadays I just have a nice gentle lager, you know, take it easy, especially with my digestive system the way it is nowadays. So when I recently visited. Say again?
No, go on. You go. I'll wait until you finish your sentence, mate.
Oh, I was just going to say, recently, me and Mrs. Space Commander came down to Earth and visited the coastline of England for a little break, and I sent you some pictures, didn't I? And there was the little.
I might actually have that picture.
My little buddy, my Space Commander figure here. He was guarding my pint, making sure no one took my lager.
I had that somewhere here.
I remember the first time coming over to the UK and having warm beer.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You guys drink your beer.
I guess it would be warm. It'd be room temperature. And we always had ours as cold as you could get it. So that was a different, I mean, it caught up to you faster.
Yeah.
There's the little guy. There he is.
Oh,
so what are you drinking here? What do you do?
That's just a pint of Peroni. The whole thing about warm beer is that's not something I've experienced in my lifetime. I don't know if that was maybe my parents' generation or something, but whenever I have a pint in the pub, it's always nice and frosty.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mark? Is it cold beer?
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be like in the war, back in the World War II and everything. It was always warm beer. I don't know, and then it seems to just we've caught up with everybody else finally.
I just assumed it was because you guys were always so cold over there that you didn't need to have a cold one.
You know what I found was so fun going to the pubs over there was by the end of the night I was up standing on my chair singing along with everybody, even though I didn't know the song. You know.
Yeah. When has that ever stopped you?
Yeah. I just lip sync.
I wasn't really a beer person. I was more Jack Daniels.
Yeah. I do love Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is good.
Jack Daniels and Coke, and then we did. You know, you had the little shots and everything else, and then by the end of the night, I was trying to walk home and then taking a piddle in the thingy or something.
Trying to walk home. He said.
Yeah. Well, one night
I crawled many a night.
Yeah. I'm convinced my mate said that he didn't walk me home. Well, someone walked me home, or else it was just very weird. On one night, you get to that stage where it's like, how do I get home? Where do I go? Can I put the key in the hole to get in the house?
Yeah.
I woke up in someone else's house once. And I woke up to the sounds of "Who the hell are you?" I was like, This is not my house. And he had samurai swords all around his walls. And I sit up in what is, it was basically the most comfortable couch I'd ever woken up in, right? I was incredibly hungover.
That happened a lot, huh?
Well, just this time. Out of all the times, this was the most comfortable I'd ever been. But yeah, I'd broken the back window of his back door, unlocked it from the inside, let myself in. I don't remember any of this, by the way. And then I sat down on his lounge and fell asleep until he woke me up in the morning. I paid for the damages. It was in the end, he was cooler about it than he actually needed to be, because I was a stranger in his house that had literally broken in, and I made an arrangement to pay for the damages, and we had a laugh about it, and off I went. So I didn't get a samurai sword to the midsection or anything. It was good.
I was going to say, wow.
I was petrified. I was only about 2 doors off, though.
Oh,
so close. Was so close. The house didn't even look the same.
Yeah. Close only works in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, missed it by this much.
Yeah.
So I do, because we are talking, I want to talk a little bit of British Action Force for a moment, because I did get a care package from Space Commander, and I won't go through all of them, but I do want to bring out this guy. This is one of the wackiest action figures I've ever seen to come out of a military toy line.
Wow.
That is crazy.
He's quite hard to come by as well now.
Well, Space Commander sent me like 3 of them.
Oh.
So I've got all of them. Yeah. I've got all of them now. So yeah.
It's hard to count in space.
Well, it is, yeah.
There were 4, but I kept one.
Look at that. Twins.
He kept one. There you go.
Great condition as well.
So this is a character. What's this guy's name, Space Commander?
Kraken,
right. So like the rum. So this is a character that I've only really come to know of recent times. And if I had seen this character, I would not have guessed that it was Action Force. Wow. That's it's pretty cool. So thanks for that, Space Commander. I know that you've got a package on your way, Space Commander. I don't know where it's going to be. Hurry up already. I've got lost in transit. It's coming.
Oh,
that is cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so that's the Kraken. He was introduced on this cassette here.
The Baron's
as
Revenge.
The sort of it was sort of Baron Ironblood's sort of seagoing contingent. They were all cloned. They came out of the sea as en masse. There was a whole load of these Kraken characters. It's not just one guy; it's a whole load of them. And
right.
For the special project that we're working on, I thought we're going to need a bunch of these guys. So I tracked down a set of 4, and I thought Zazel can use 3, and I'll have one for my collection.
You selfish man. You've kept one for yourself.
Well, they were hard to find. They were hard to find when I was a kid. So
I know. I've only got 3 of them. I could have had 4. They're very hard to find. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, it's cool.
Another thing,
they're going to be. Sorry, go ahead, Sarge.
I was asking if you had a Sergeant Slammer up in space.
I had a feeling you might ask.
Oh, there he is. All right. I should have known. Do you have?
He gets to hang out with me.
Sergeant Slammer. Mark, do you have a Sergeant Slammer?
I have. I've got a few, but I haven't got that one to hand. But I have got this one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's a
good one.
That's the original. That's a good one to have.
That's the 2010.
Yeah,
That's
San
the
Diego
2010.
exclusive.
Yeah, the San Diego.
Yeah, I've got
They
them.
made
got them
two
carded.
different packages. We've just about sold out of those now when we go to signings.
Yeah, they're getting hard to come by.
They're very hard to come by, and people they give you a credit card. How much is that? Well, I really don't want to sell it, but I'm running low. So I finally took one of each and I put it in my vault. And I said, nobody's getting these because they got to have those to prove that it's actually mine. It's me.
Yeah. No, it's a good figure.
I've got them both carded as well, but
you have the
triple T one's very hard to.
That's a tough one. Yeah, the triple T. I know Zazel has quite a collection. Do you happen to know how many action figures you have, Mark? Not just me, of GI Joes or Ninja Turtles or whatever you collect.
I did have a load.
11?
But no, no, I did have loads and loads, but I sold them after Dad passed away, sadly, to pay for certain things. But I've still got all my loose favourites. I've probably got about 500 or so loose.
Wow.
Still.
Are any of you Star Wars collectors?
Yeah.
I used to be quite big into Star Wars back in the day. I haven't picked up a Star Wars in a while. Actually, that's not true. I picked up a Star Wars today, in fact. Why did I say that? But I only picked up the Star Wars figure today because I wanted something from it. And with thanks to Space Commander, I'll give a little bit of a sneak peek. Now, thanks to Space Commander, I've been able to put something together. The Star Wars figure is gone. I threw that out. But I took something from the Star Wars figure and I put it on someone else. And just a little sneak peek, I'm coming up with a character for one of the episodes of
here's a clue.
The Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. Woo!
Is that from the Sand People?
What? Well, what?
The robe. The robe.
The robe. It's you can't really tell. It's a golden robe. The golden robe. It's bad camera angle, but the golden robe came from Snoke.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a gold one.
Snoke from those fake Star Wars movies that aren't real.
Yeah, not any of the good ones.
Yeah.
But I haven't. You'll see the rest of him when he's done. But that's just the back of him, and it's supposed to be Ric Flair coming to the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. Obviously, it's needs some more work. I wasn't selling it.
Sorry, I brought that up.
Damn it!
You have the right. I guess you have the right to cut that out.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Is it a Street Fighter Ken figure?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good figures. They were. I like those.
Yeah. He's got one big match he's promoting. The end of July, I believe it is. Yeah. He's having a big match, and they can't get anybody to wrestle him.
Oh, well, why don't you jump back in the ring?
First, it was Ricky Steamboat and he were going to have a match. It's supposed to be Ric Flair's last match. Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
And so they offered a pretty good deal to Ricky Steamboat, and then he backed out. He said, I don't know if I want to be a part of that because he's got a pacemaker, and what if something happens in the ring? And I don't know if So then they went to Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner. He's going to wrestle Ric Flair now. And now I heard that didn't come through because I don't think Rick wants to wrestle him.
All right.
Beat him to death. It wouldn't matter if he had a pacemaker. And now they're back to Ricky Steamboat, but he turned down they doubled his offer, and he still turned it down.
It's not always about the money, is it? If he's looking out for the health of Ric Flair, then that's good on him.
So now they
So
don't have an
rumors
opponent
as well. It might be Hogan as well.
Yeah, it could be Hogan, but I don't know if he can walk. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do a whole lot of action. But it's going pretty well because they had to move the venue to a bigger place because it sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's being promoted. Really big
for him.
Yeah, so that now they're talking about one of the what is it, Ricky Morton? He might be the next opponent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever happens, I hope
Listen,
they
brother,
do it in a way
if the paycheck's big enough, Hogan will be there.
That's right, brother.
Nice.
Well, the immortal puke.
Yeah. Is this where I call out Mark Potter's tattoo now?
Oh no, I was going to say that.
Pukemania.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Running wild. Yeah, there you go.
Pukemania.
Pukemania.
I need to put the puke in now instead of change it.
We can fix that up. We can.
Yeah.
We'll do like you do. We'll just replace the arm.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm gonna be like Junkyard Dog. I'm gonna chew on your bones.
So before I anticlimactically brought this guy up, that was a waste of time. Were you bringing up Star Wars for a reason, Sarge? Did you have?
No, I ran into Mark Hamill.
Oh, nice.
Got a signing about maybe a year ago, and he was the biggest Sgt Slaughter fan. I thought he was kidding me, you know.
Right.
He couldn't get enough of me, you know. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you know, you're probably one of the biggest stars of all time in a movie. And but it was a very wonderful man, and he's contacted me a few times on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not big on that Twitter thing because I just don't have the time. And I'll go on. I saw your message about 3 days ago about this, and I'm going, I better answer him back. Sometimes I don't even have my phone. I don't even look at my messages for like a week. And I'll see messages from Mark and things like that are like a week old. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry. But I don't pay attention to it much. You know, I'm so busy with everything else. And
well, they call it social media. So if you're too busy being social, you don't have time for the media part. You live in the real world. You're doing real world stuff.
Yeah. We're this is my first weekend off. I can't remember the last time I was off, but going to Jacksonville the following weekend. So start right back up. Yeah, it's been good. I can't complain. Can't complain when you're busy.
That's right.
No.
So speaking of fans, famous fans, you had a famous fan in Michael Jackson.
Yes. I didn't even know that he knew I existed. And one time I ran into one of his backup singers, or he might have been in the band. And he started talking to me, and he said, "You know, Michael Jackson was your biggest fan." And I said, "Come on, and have another drink there and tell me some more." So he said, "No." He said, "We had a poster wherever we performed. There was a poster of you. And we all had to give it a high five. We tapped the poster before we go on stage because that was good luck. And I found that quite amazing to know that.
That is cool.
And so I did some digging to find out if he was just pulling my leg, but it actually was. It did happen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. One day I'll find out that Sarge has been high-fiving a photo of me before he goes up to the ring.
I did it today. I did it this morning before I got on here.
Perfect. Appreciate it. I know you got on really early today, Sarge, so we wanted to make sure Mark was on today as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Thank
you, Sarge. Thank you so much.
Anything for you guys. You really make things so much fun, and to get away from the hustle and bustle And when I found out Mark was going to be on, I just had to meet him finally, even though it's just on this program here. But one day, I'm hoping I know someone came through waited for a long time at the New York Comic-Con when we were in New Jersey for the WrestleMania, and he brought a picture and some other things. Said, "This is from Mark Potter." I said, "What, you know Mark Potter?" and Mark and I, this is a couple of years ago, we just started communicating, and I said, "How did he get this over here?" He said, "Well, I'm from the UK, and I'm a friend of Mark's, or I know him, and he gave me these to bring over because he can't be here." And I said, "That's truly a fan. That's someone you really want to get to know. You know, you have fans, but not the type of fans that Mark has been for me and Zazel. I mean, you guys, I know a couple weekends ago you both called into a virtual reality show that I was doing. It was their first one, so it was. They
did very well for a first one.
They only did it for an hour, and I said, "You guys got to do this for like 3 hours. You're not gonna."
Yeah.
Because they had right behind the screen, they had set up for me to do an autograph session, and there's people lined up out there. I said, "Well, that only take an hour to do that. You got people calling in from all over the world here. You know, you should take those." So it was a learning experience for them. Their next one, they're going to have. Their next one, they're going to have $1 Million Man and Hacksaw Jim Duggan on the same show. So that I said, you know, if you're going to do something, try maybe doing two guys. And they said, "Yeah, well, we're thinking about Hacksaw." And I said, "Well, why don't you put them both on the same show, because they like each other, and you know." So that's what they're going to do. I don't know when it's going to be, but.
Well, after you stopped recording, there were still people in the chat that were wanting to put orders in, and I think they said that they could quickly put orders in, and they'll try and get you to sign them after they'd finished on the air. But there's whenever I try not to miss one. I don't think I've missed one since you've started doing them.
Yes.
But there's always the chats are always full. There's always people coming in last minute. Wanting to get an order, and you know, there's when you can incorporate some of your stories as well into it and answer a few questions. That's also great interaction, because I know it'd be almost impossible for me to come to one of these for real. I'll try and get Mark and Space Commander to do a road trip with me over to Joe Fest next year. Let's try and make that happen.
Don't come this year, because I'm not going to be there.
No, next year. Next year.
Got double booked before I realized that Joe Fest was the same date. But going for Lou Ferrigno in Oklahoma City, I met him a few times, and he said, "You have to come to my show." And he gave me the dates and gave my business agent the dates, and so we booked it, and the next thing I know, another agent of mine said, "You know, Joe Fest, they're advertising you." I said, "I'm not going to be there. I'm sorry. You didn't tell me. You know, you didn't tell me the dates." So anyway, but we'll be there next year. Yeah.
When Hulk tells you to do something, you got to do it, right?
There's a Joe Fest coming up in Atlanta in September. I think it's the 9th, 10th, and 11th. So. Those who missed me in the Augusta, Georgia, I'll be in the Atlanta one.
I wonder what the Atlanta one is. I'm not familiar with that one.
I don't think it's as big. I don't think it's as big, but
I haven't heard of that one. No.
Yeah.
All right.
They started last year, and then for some reason they moved it to Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay. Well, if Space Commander can pick me up, and then we can go fly past and pick up Mark, and I reckon we could get to the next Joe Fest in what is that, light speed.
Yeah. You'll probably get there. You'll be there before I am.
We'll pick you up too. We'll pick you up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pick me up on the way.
It's a round trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rocket fuel's expensive though, so everyone chip in.
Yeah. I'm in.
Let's just skip Joe Fest altogether and we'll just do Route 66 instead.
There you go. Let's do our own.
Yeah, that's a plan.
We'll start our own Joe Fest over our action force over in the UK and Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we can do it in outer space, but who knows? You know.
We'll call it Sarge Fest and just Sarge only.
Sarge Fest. Yeah.
Be the first show on Mars.
Perfect. Yeah. We'll call you the Martian sympathizer.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You know me, I'll do anything.
Yeah, that's right. True. This will be the guy that stands next to you. Yeah.
That's going to be a tough battle there.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below.